Dennis Dorch,
And what do you do?
entrepreneur, filmmaker.
Cool.
Well, brands are corporations, they're not people.
Huh.
And personalities are people, and people want people on the web. That's what they want. They get enough brands in their life everywhere they go. Turn on the radio, turn on TV, open your refrigerator, open a book. It's brand, brand, brand. So I don't think people are trying to escape, but the energy of a real person is really what makes things very successful for majority of the success stories you've seen on YouTube. It's just, you see it's a person behind it. The top subscribed, the top viewed are all personalities, with the exception of possibly music videos. And that's the only place you can find music videos these days. You can't find them on MTV or BET. So that's a different anomaly. I think right now it's just, personalities rule. Now a lot of brands are lining up with personalities. They're getting smart now, instead of thinking they could just pump money into something. But it's an interactive medium. It's a medium of real connection. So you can't fake it. Well, I didn't know that when I came in. I had no idea. And web series is an uphill battle, as I was saying. It's not like YouTube is native to web series. What we have YouTube behind us, and what we have is an interesting sort of hole in the market when you're talking about content for black people. As a friend of mine said, it's a famine. So we have that, and that's what gets us at least a motivation, or at least the thought of the future and the potential in this. Web series in general are not native to YouTube. So for us, we got on YouTube because we used to be on our own website. We used to be on blackandsexy.tv, and me keeping up a website technically was a lot. It was just killing me. So when I realized YouTube wasn't just what I thought YouTube was, trash. I was like, oh, trashy thing. Why would you want to be on YouTube? But then I realized that's where the community is. That's where people are at. They have a mechanism and a structure that works, and it translates and transfers to many, websites or Facebook or Twitter easily. So it's like, you take all the worry out of, keeping up your technology or keeping up your infrastructure, and you just concentrate on the content. So we just got on YouTube. And the only reason we're successful, I think, is because what I said, authenticity. I think authenticity is really what it is. My style is more realism, is more like I try to make it seem, majority of the time, that they're not really actors, that they're real people. And I think that's the only reason why we sort of got, the pulse of something. It's because our style is not hammy. It's not theatrical. It's not, over the top. And I think those are the things, every time you see a web series, especially black, doing something online that's over the top and trying to be, just too much, it always falls on its face every time. It doesn't mean you can't have fun and be tongue-in-cheek, but there's a balance. You have to feel like there's something fresh and there's a pulse of something real. And that's generally the ingredient. There's always exception to the rules, but I can't really name one black one right this second. I have to say that literally it's really about, whether you're black or not, it's the same ingredients. People just want to feel something fresh and real, and not just say, oh, I'll find TV on the web, because it doesn't really translate that way.
Why do you think it doesn't translate that way?
It's very variables that I don't understand. It's just seen by evidence. The evidence is all the most successfully watched and viewed stuff doesn't have the ingredients that makes up a TV series, quote unquote. Every TV series type content that's created online really struggles. It doesn't mean that there aren't some successful ones, but there's something about it that doesn't quite that doesn't quite have the same panache that you would do on TV. Let's put it that way. So why that is, I don't know for sure. I have my theories, but it is just what it is. So people have tried over and over again, and it doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, why? And then you try to put something that works really well on the web and put it on TV, it doesn't really work either. And this is an animation, like a Knowing Orange makes sense.
Why?
Because in animation, the rules and the translation are virtually the same online as they are on TV. Knowing Orange is pretty good because it's not a high-end animation. It looks like it's made by a real person. It looks like I can make it. Anybody that's watching something, it wants to feel accessible, like I could do that. I can just put these oranges up and superimpose my mouth on there. And it's really low-tech. That's why it worked really well, because it still feels homey. Translating, I don't know how well it's doing on, Comedy Central, I believe, or is it, or maybe Cartoon Network. I don't know what it's on, but it's not, I don't know how well it's doing, but it makes sense that maybe it may be more successful because the rules for animation are definitely different than they are for, I guess, live action. Yeah. Well, those particular deals weren't for TV. Okay. They were for other web destinations or services. So we turned them down because a lot of people think, oh, you're on YouTube, let me get you for free, or let me get you for very cheap. So those particular two instances, I can say, we get hit up all the time because there's a lot of people who are looking for content and think, oh, you just need exposure in the audience, let me grow your audience. And it's like they just want to live off of you and parasite. And then we're just saying, well, we have choices. We don't have to. Because before, my whole point is, before you would be an independent filmmaker, you need to make a film. How would anybody see your film unless you get brought? So if you're not purchased by a distributor or have license or whatnot, no one will ever see your film unless you have it on DVD and you hear you handing out in the streets. Now, more people have seen my content online on Black and Sexy TV 2 million times more than has seen my movie, which played on Showtime, been in Target. You know what I'm saying? And now on Netflix. More people have seen my stuff. Whether I'm getting paid the same amount, which I'm not, it doesn't matter. Distributors don't pay you anyways. They're not paying you unless you actually have a film that has a bidding war against it. Other than that, there's no business. Whatever you make the film for, you'll get a small percentage of what you actually paid. You know, you're doing it for free anyways. It's a business model. It doesn't make sense. So a lot of people are like, why are you doing this? And it's like, well, you will make a short film for free anyways, or a feature film for free anyways, and hope for the best of life and wait 2 years and nothing may not happen. 90% of the time, nothing will happen. So why not reach your audience directly, learn your business, and go and just start doing those things in increments now? It's like instant. So I think that's the difference. You know what I mean? And I don't even know what the question was at this point. But
No.
Well, it's being transmedia. It's not about, like for the couple movie that we're raising money for, it's not like thinking of a movie in a traditional sense, like, oh, I got to get into theaters, and it's like, it's still independent, you know, and thinking about how can I look at this series and think about it as a cinematic release, it's already got to be a different beast. It can't be the same thing. We can also look about selling it back to our audience. You know, it's really not about just abandoning, all right, thanks, web, and you leaving, I'm in the big times. It's about making a sustainable business that makes sense on all levels. Part of my business is online. Part of my business is theatrical. Part of my business is merchandising. Part of my business is licensing to cable. You know what I mean? It's just part of the thing. So it's not about trying to say, all right, we're going to leave the web and make a movie and don't worry about it. It's really about, that's just a piece of the puzzle. It doesn't mean any of our series can't go to TV. The Couple, Remy Lover Friends, it doesn't mean those can't go to TV. It just means that's not a model that has been proven right now. You know what I mean? Trying to get into the game to try to get the TV it's just, you might as well just make a feature film and try to get there's less TV series that actually go to pilot and at least get picked up than any film. You have more chances in film. So that's what I'm saying to people. It's like, think about what you're doing with your time. It doesn't mean you should stop yourself and listen to what I'm saying. It's just understand the business. It's not that any easier to do it this way. I think you should do stuff online if you're thinking about TV, simply because you'll learn your own business, you'll have more confidence, and you'll understand how to retain an audience and entertain them if you're successful. And then if you do get into this situation where you're in a meeting or a room with a TV execs about something, they can't tell you don't know what you're talking about because you already did it. You have proof of concept, and it's here. So it's not a bad idea. It's just not the only idea. It's not a solid idea. It's just simply like, okay, my model is, you see we're not doing one series and just focusing on that. That's good and bad. All your energy on one series takes us serious as far as it can go. But our model is a series will come and go. When the energy is gone, it goes away. Our thinking about is having content that you own. That's power. If you have content that you own, people will license it from you at some point in time. And when you have all this content and a certain audience and a certain amount of success, people will understand there's value. I will give you money for this. You know what I mean? So that right there makes sense. When do we own our content as independent filmmakers? Only time we own it is because it's on our hard drive or on our DVD because no one wants it. You know, when you distribute, you don't own it. Maybe I'll get my film back in 7 years after I license it, but what's the worth of it in 7 years? You know what I'm saying? What about right now? You know what I mean? What about the volume of it? It's worth a lot to my distributor because they have a volume of films. My film is not making them any money. The volume of film is making them a lot of money. And that's the same concept we're talking about doing, is having a volume of content is really what it's about. You know, that's why I say entrepreneur, because you can be a filmmaker and that means you're a work for hire. That's what that means. You can be an entrepreneur. That means, okay, I'm in business. I own my own stuff. It doesn't mean you can't be a work for hire and that's what you want to do, or you can't license your stuff here and there. But being a business owner is the opportunity that I saw and I wanted to take, as opposed to still chasing the Hollywood game and trying to remain relevant in a place that really puts the wall up higher and higher and higher. You know what I'm saying? And you spend your entire life trying to get over that wall, and that's what they want. That's what I wouldn't want. I don't want nobody to get bust out my game. I was like, yeah, keep trying, yeah. You know what? Give me some more scripts. I'll do. That's how you keep people busy. You know what I'm saying? And they'll never take you over. They'll never take you over because they're too busy trying to get what you have instead of making their own. And this is the time you can make your own. Simply as that. It doesn't. You can be as successful making a film that goes to Sundance, it gets a $2 million deal. Or you could be just successful saying, I'm going to create a brand for myself and find my audience in this world of billions of people, and I'm going to figure it out. They're both legitimate. It's not, both of them you're taking a chance, but which one is your talents led to? Which ones are your patience led to? What is your vision for how you see your life? And I think that's what it is, you know.